Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with co-host James Mason, where our goal every day is to bring you insights and ideas into your daily trading activities. Good morning, James. How are you?
Todd, good morning. I'm doing well. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I still got a little lingering cough, but I'm hoping that come by Christmas time, I'll have this kicked.
That's what happens when you don't put toilet paper down on the toilet seat and you catch something.
Interesting.
All right, everyone. So Dow futures down currently 55 points. S&P 500 is down 4.25 points. And actually, let's take a look at S&P 500. It's been a few days since we had a chance to look at that. All right, so we can see right here in the 5-minute chart, we are currently below that VWAP line, pushing down, making a strong push actually right here. But what I'm a little concerned about is we have this strong push down on the 5-minute chart and this bounce. I'm concerned that we might come back down here, test these lows, and the bears get faked out, and this thing does a little bounce, come up here, and just kind of chops around. Lately, we've been experiencing a decent amount of choppiness in the market, which is to be expected when we are looking at the daily chart right here and flirting with these all-time highs. I mean, this setup right here, unless if there's like a major catalyst that happens to make the stock market keep going up, this setup right here is signaling that it's about to roll over. So with the market in general, I would actually probably wait for it to, I mean, you can jump the gun on it, but me personally, I'm going to wait for it to break below these three candles right here. So I'm going to wait for it to break below 46.7. So right in there for the S&P 500 futures. So Todd, go ahead. Anyways, sorry about that, guys.
Little sign language.
Yeah, a little joke. So that's what I'm looking for with the overall market. Now, if we do break all-time highs, which God knows, why we would. But hey, this is the market we trade in, and I mean, there's been so many times we shouldn't have broken all-time highs to begin with. But it is what it is, and if the government keeps throwing money at it, which they shouldn't, they're supposed to be easing up on their purchases this month, and so far it doesn't seem like it. So we will see. I wouldn't be surprised if the market makers don't pull the rug on everyone and just wipe the floor. I have noticed that a lot of the option contracts lately have been acting a little strange. Some of them are starting to get pretty spready. Others, the premiums are not really flowing the way that they normally would. And the last time I actually remember that happening was right before the pandemic happened. So take that for what it's worth. But for me personally, since I obviously experienced it myself, I'm going to be looking for something crazy to happen in the market here soon and to make it drop. So that is what I'm looking at overall. So Todd, what else do we have for today?
We're going to talk about QCOM or Qualcomm, but we also might want to talk about, just a brief moment, we got some time today. We talked about how people always say, "Oh, you're a day trader, you're a gambler, it's gambling." And there is some gambling. Do you want to talk about this or talk about it another day?
No, we can talk about this.
There is some gambling mentality because you are risking, there's rewards, but it's not like you walk up. Our day trading is not like a slot machine where you've got your dollar or in some of the cases, $20 bill, and you're putting it in the machine, and you have no idea what's going to happen until you pull the lever. Here, we're making calculated guess based on history, based on charts, based on news. And so we have a lot more information with our money before we put it in the slot machine or the stock market. Same thing in poker. If anyone here's poker players, when you play poker, you get a look at 2 or 4 cards depending on the game you're playing, Hold'em or Omaha, and you get to decide: do I want to go to battle or play this hand with these 2 cards? And you can muck them, no charge. And so you can pick your hands that you want to play. We get to decide which stock is our starting cards, and we can look at stocks that have news, that are running or are breaking moving averages. So there is some gambling mentality to it, especially the joys and the euphoria and the what's the word I'm looking for, James? The
Lamborghinis,
yeah,
all the money.
the endorphins. Yeah.
The unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, but so there is some expectation, there is some connection to that, but it's not. We're not making blind. We don't show up here and go, all right, let's roll the wheel and letter X. Let's find a sticker that starts with letter X and go at it. We're making decisions, so it's not a full 100% gamble what we're doing.
Thank you, Todd.
You're welcome. QCOM.
So here we are, ticker QCOM, Qualcomm, and man, look at this daily candlestick. I mean, I got smoked in this one yesterday, but not as bad as what probably everybody thinks, since I just said that. But I got smoked, and I'm going to show you how. But now, don't get me wrong, I'm bearish on this thing today for a day trade. Am I going to try to come in with puts? Man, I don't know. Because yesterday this thing faked me out. Now, this thing should print technically, and I'm just going off the charts, this thing should technically print a red day. I mean, this thing should break down. So let me go over to the 5-minute chart right here. We'll talk about the breakdown first. So we can see the run up yesterday, and it's struggling right in this range. I'm waiting for it to break down below 180 to come in short. And my target price is going to be 176. And this is just for a day trade. So we'll have to see what this decides to do. But yesterday, man, this ticker for real fooled me. So let me put it on the 2-minute chart really quickly. So looking at it right here on the 2-minute chart, and the 5-minute chart obviously paints the same picture, but I just wanted to show you a little bit more candles since I was watching it yesterday at the 2-minute chart. So we see how it started breaking down in the pre-market. And then at the bell, it bounced, came up, was getting rejected around those pre-market, highs right in there, pulled back. So it started showing itself, and then it bounced, came up here, got rejected again. And when it came down, that's when I went in with some puts. Now, I did alert this one, and I alerted that the stop would be, we'll just round it up to 170. And I made entry, can't remember my exact entry, but it was in that mid 168 range. Now, this thing bounced and made that strong push up, but it didn't get strong until it broke above 170. And I was already out of it at that point. And when it broke above 170, and it was like minutes later, this thing was hitting literally 170, 50, and then 171, and it just kept going up. Got up to right here, just shy of 175, pulled back, came up here, tested it again, breaking above 175, pull back, and it just ran. And it just goes to show the importance of having a stop loss in. I'm just going to say it. This one did save me. Now, while I was bearish on it, I was not like extremely like bearish, like, oh, okay, I can let this go up a little bit and it will probably tank afterwards. No, I'm glad I went with my gut feeling right here and cut it, because had I held on to those contracts that I had, they would have been absolutely worthless today. So now that this thing has made a crazy run, I'm going to wait for it to break down below 180 today and see if I can't pick off some profits. If this works out for me, I mean, I should make far more than what I lost yesterday. But man, I'm just glad. Like, while I do say I feel like I got smoked, I mean, it wasn't that I got like really like smoked, but had I held on to it, that's what you call getting smoked. But I did take a loss on this yesterday, and it is what it is. So we'll see what Qualcomm does today. But Todd, from what I'm reading, the reason for that bullish catalyst is the executives within Qualcomm announced that they plan on to be less dependent on Apple.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like, how does that transfer to being real news and driving a bullish sentiment in with this ticker? It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I don't know. To make it run that much, it's just, I don't know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been trading long enough, and hopefully you realize this, hopefully, if you haven't realized this yet, you're probably losing a lot of money in the stock market. But the stock market is probably going to do the opposite of what is expected by the masses. Something like that, I didn't think it was significant news. And probably a lot of people didn't really think it was significant news, except for, the big Wall Street firms or whoever else had deep pockets and, was pushing this up, making it run. They definitely swept up a lot of money from the premiums for the puts, that people had in it. And then obviously the people chasing it, trying to short it. So we'll see what happens today overall with Qualcomm. So let's hit the comments really quickly, see what we got going on. So good morning, everyone.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Couple tips this morning, thank you.
Linkman, yes, I can take a look at PROG.
John Stevenson, you had a Lamborghini before you started trading stocks? Reminds me of the joke is, you want to make a small fortune in the stock market? Start with a large one.
All right. Ticker PROG. Let's go to the daily chart.
Brian, you put $20 on red and I spun the wheel, it turned up black, so I ship it.
Okay, so PROG. I mean, we see this phenomenal run right here, and I haven't traded this one in either direction. There was a guy in the Weeble Rockets group. He legitimately called this one out at like the mid 80-cent range, and he said this thing was going to hit $5. Now, I'll be honest with y'all, I thought he was an idiot. Like, I'm not even saying that to sound mean or anything. I just thought he was a fool. Now, while I did believe it was going to, make a decent run, I didn't think no $5. But man, he was spot on that thing, and I was dead wrong. I mean, I didn't debate with him on it because, I wasn't against the stock or anything like that. I just didn't think it was going to run from the mid 80-cent range to $5. And man, he nailed that one. But looking at it on the daily chart right here, we can see that strong bullish day yesterday. But up here, this is where we're currently at pre-market, right here at 586. there's a faint little dash line where my crosshairs are. So after a run like that yesterday, and then a gap up like this today, usually what happens in a play like this is the run is usually over. This will probably print a red candlestick for today. And then after that, that's when things will start to turn over. Now, again, we'll have to see what happens today. But if today does follow through with how this pattern usually sets up, we'll just have to see how much of a red day that it prints. Maybe it will come down, to the close of yesterday. If it does, then tomorrow we'll probably see some more red. But if we do have like a crazy brutal red day here, then the writing is pretty much on the wall. So we'll just have to see what happens overall today. I mean, if you're a bull and you've been hanging on to this thing for a while, I would definitely put a stop in and honor that bad boy, because once this thing pulls back, people are going to start taking profits pretty daggone quickly. And just based off of my old resistance right here, which is now technically a support, if this thing falls below 537, this thing is probably going to start unwinding itself. So this is what I just personally see for ticker PROG.
A couple people have asked about ticker POAI, and one question was about, you mentioned $1.10 stop loss, and that was a stop loss mentioned from earlier to
yeah, that was a while back.
Yeah, it was a while back. So right now I'm 100% have all my shares, haven't sold a single one of them, and I have no stop loss in, and I'm down right now from my average. So at the price of $1.10, $1.11, I'm in the red, but nothing's changed in my book.
Yeah, I'm still holding all my shares in my main account. I'm still all in. I have a couple secondary accounts. Well, technically they're not secondary accounts if I have a couple, but I have a couple accounts that I've just been pretty much just like doing some petty day trades, some smaller swing trades, but I'm locked and loaded into predictive oncology. So right here on October the 5th, that's the date that I said that I had a 110 stop loss in, and thank God that I did then. Things were acting super weird that day. And after I made that announcement, someone came in and dumped 2 million shares. And man, it pulled that thing down hard. But I will be honest with you guys. I mean, I'm not a BSer. I mean, I have nothing to lose. While I am all in, I'm in the red now. My average is 114 something, like a bunch of numbers out there from scaling in so much. So I am down now. While it's roughly 4 cents in the red, I have a ton of shares, so that it makes my P&L look like crap. Straight trash, I won't lie. But this daily chart, I'm gonna be real with y'all, it looks horrible. Very, very, very horrible. But this has never been I don't know how y'all are playing it. You'll have to make your own decision on that. This has only been a catalyst play for me. So while I don't want this to go down because it's going to suck while it's down, I am only waiting for a catalyst. The last I spoke to Bob was, what was it? Not this past Friday, the Friday before. I spoke to him, and the last that he said to me was he was going to have some announcements for us after Thanksgiving, but before November. I quoted him. I mean,
after Thanksgiving, before December.
Did I say that? Yeah, that's correct. After Thanksgiving, before the end of November.
All right. That's
kind of yeah. I mean, it's kind of an odd little time frame. I don't know.
Dan, I don't know if you're going to see 85 cents again on POAI. if I was a betting man, and I think I am, I don't think you're going to see it 85 cents, 90 cents again.
Believe it or not, there are a lot of people who have a strong interest in this at $1. I'm talking about like smaller brokerage firms. They're sitting at $1 waiting, and which is one of the reasons why this pulled back right back here. I mean, this thing shot down, and they bought a shit ton of it and pushed it right back up. But
another member shared an email with us. I did not get this email. I don't want to say the member's name, but they received a email response back and said, expect something by the end of fourth quarter. So here we are, halfway through fourth quarter. So it's getting closer and closer, I believe.
So they're for sure their GMP labs are supposed. Well, I shouldn't say for sure, but their GMP labs are supposed to be completed here soon. It would be cool if Johnny just took a trip over to Birmingham, which I've already requested of him. But take a trip over to Birmingham and just check it out. I know I would.
How could Johnny possibly have time to do that? Do you ever read in our text and about all the things he's got? Barbecues going, he's got family functions going, he's got 18 different kids going. He's like, I don't know how he gets half the stuff done now. He's got all this stuff going on.
Road trip.
Hope he's listening. Hope he's listening.
Yeah, I know.
You see, he hasn't tipped yet today. He might not be on the show.
That is true. That is true. So I am still confident in predictive oncology, but I am tired of waiting. I am freaking tired of waiting. I won't kid you there. They need to hurry up. I'm tired of waiting. Been holding on to this stock for my entire life, it feels like. And yeah. So we'll see what happens. If Bob don't give us something by the end of December, I mean, not end of December, end of November, like per his last email to me, I'm willing to bet people are going to start getting pretty shitty on this stock. I mean, they're already pretty aggravated.
People are antsy. I get it. Yeah. It's been a longer trade.
It is tough to hold it. I won't lie. It's tough to hold it.
Yeah.
So,
hey, we're 2.5 minutes from the start of the market. Probably should.
Yeah, let's go and wrap it up so we can get ready for our day. So, all right, everybody, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Remember, trade safe, trade smart, and we will catch y'all in the next one.
See you guys. Bye.